Okay, I'm back.
All right, well the draft is underway.
Yep, the draft is indeed underway. Switch that over. Okay.
Might want to welcome the people.
Hey
Dire
everyone
team's turn to pick.
who is watching this. This is Gamescon 2017 lower bracket finals between No Chill and
Radiant team
Skia.
ban.
This will be Skia's second match of the day, so they should be pretty warmed up still from the last game. Um, where like we were saying, they played pretty well. And quite interestingly, I mean, I think they're just gonna go for the Veno ban this
10
entire
seconds
tournament.
remaining.
Um, I mean, kind of seeing the
5
Kunkka ban
seconds
and the Coddle
remaining.
ban. I don't know if it's just maybe because of the last game they're like, okay, Coddle's gonna be kind of annoying, or
You're using up
maybe
your
they're going for the
reserve
Shadow
time.
Demon. Well, they picked the Shadow Demon, I think, but they're going for the kind of like the same kind of strat. They're gonna do a lot
Um,
of push stuff.
Dire
well, I feel like
team's
they
turn
banned
to
Coddle
ban.
just because of the Bristleback, right? If
Yep.
you're gonna first pick Bristle, really annoying hero to play against, Mischance, Mana Leak as well, on a hero that really wants to spam abilities.
Yep. Um, but then for Skia, got to kind of
10
counter
seconds
with the
remaining.
they're probably gonna start banning out now all the like illusion kind of heroes.
5 seconds remaining.
Um, I imagine Terrorblade's gonna be next.
Reserve time.
Um, yeah, the opening two picks for No Chill is really odd because they don't really combo well together. Like I've never seen Bristleback Shadow Demon like work well.
Well, I think they just wanted a solid offlaner, and then they're like, okay, well, what are we trying to do with our draft? And it's like, okay, we'll do illusions, right?
Radiant
Because
team's
either
Well,
turn to
they
ban.
banned out the Coddle, they banned out the Kunkka, they banned out the OD. Like they're definitely going for an illusion strat of some sort. So I guess it's kind of like if they ban out Terrorblade here, they'll probably just pick up Drow, right? What Mirana?
Dire
Okay,
team
so they're
ban.
giving them basically whatever illusion hero they want.
well, I just normally when you pick a Shadow Demon, you want to instantly pick the Illusion Hero with it. Even
Well,
if it shows your hand, it's still good to get like a Luna per se
yeah, but my thing is like I don't
before you
know
get the
why
bench.
10
for Skill,
seconds
but like they're
left.
thinking maybe
Decide.
maybe they're trying to bait us into thinking they're doing the illusion thing. They
5
banned out
seconds
Coddle,
remaining.
Kunkka, and OD, like. But at the same time, like if they're not actually baiting them, like they
Reserve
just kind of gave
time.
them what they wanted, right?
Well, at the same time, I feel like they
Radiant
don't
team's
want
turn
to
to
have
pick.
No Chill have that really strong support duo of Mirana Shadow Demon,
Yeah.
especially with the Bristleback. That would be really annoying for your safe lane.
Um. But yeah,
10
so
seconds remaining.
now here's the thing. I feel like for Skia needs some physical damage
5 seconds
because I mean they have
remaining.
Crystal Maiden and Necro, two really I won't say high magic damage heroes, but I mean they do quite a
Reserve
bit,
time.
being their main skills.
Well, I personally think with that Bristleback, they need a Silver Edge carrier of some type.
Yep. Well, Silver Edge or
Be it
Bloodthorn
Lena
then.
or
So
Silver Edge just to remove the passive.
yeah. Um, Lena wouldn't be too bad. It's kind of the same thing I was saying. I think maybe it was the first game or second game. I can't remember. Um, where Shadow Demon kind of potentially sets up something for you, even if it's on the other team. And, like you go to save somebody. Um, it's kind of like, oh well, thank you for this. Here's a free stun for me.
Well, that's another thing right now. No Chill's draft is definitely lacking Disable. The only Disable they technically have is Disruption,
Yeah, now this
and that doesn't.
disruption works not through Reaper Sight, but you can like save someone, right? By just disrupting
Yeah,
them as it
yeah,
comes down.
they'll take no damage.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Now,
very difficult to do though. Like you have to be in the
Dire
correct
team's
positioning.
turn to
okay,
pick.
now Jug coming out for Skia. I don't really see that as the Silver Edge carrier that you wanted. I guess he could get it. You just typically don't see it. So yeah, I may end up.
I don't think they'll pick it up on Jug.
10
I'm
seconds
curious. Do you think this is a
remaining.
mid necro, by the way?
I
5 seconds
honestly
remaining.
think it may be a support. I don't know.
Because
I don't feel
Reserve
like Necro's
time.
very good right now. Anyway, as you said, they have the disruption. If they don't have a Silver Edge for Bristleback, he'll just turn.
yeah,
And Reaper's Light does not do like a ton of damage early, even if they're missing quite a bit of health. It's only 0.6 per missing HP.
yeah.
So
Well, the main thing is Necro doesn't really have to worry about Bristleback, right? Like if he uses the his W,
Radiant team's turn to pick.
his Ghost Shroud. Um, Now Lich's gonna come out. I'm trying to just kind of like piece these drafts together. Um. Okay, well, maybe.
Dire
He
team's
can
turn to
he can buy
pick.
Silver Edge. That's
Yeah,
fine.
I mean, he's a good silver edge carry, but I'm just kind of like trying to put this together. Like, why would they pick Lich other than like the frost armor is really good, right? And then
Well, I feel like their supports are very defensive
10
right now because
seconds
nobody really
remaining.
levels Shadow Poison anymore,
Templar
and he'll probably
assassin.
max Frost Armor this game.
Radiant
okay,
team
well
ban.
that kind of explains it right there, right? They're just gonna put the frost armor on pretty much anybody. They're gonna be not necessarily high armored heroes, but make it a little bit harder to kill, especially now. What's better, frost armor or presence of the Dark Lord? Which one balances out the other one? Is
10
it presence
seconds
that's
remaining.
better? Nope,
No,
it's
Ice
frost
Armor is
ice
a
armor.
lot
There you
better
go. Okay,
5
in
so
seconds
terms of
remaining.
added
the
armor.
amount, yeah. So that's kind of the thing, right? So that more or less
Reserve
cancels
time.
out that once we get to like the late game. Plus, you have some minus armor now on TA. Just gotta deal with the two Agi heroes coming out there. So for Skia needs what we assume to be an offlaner, and No Chill needs an offlaner as well. Or you think they need a carry? What do you think they're gonna run that Bristleback as?
I'm assuming they're gonna duo offlane Lich and Bristleback, so I think they need like a very self-reliant safe laner, something that can just lane
Dire
against
team's
whatever
turn to
the enemy
ban.
offlane is.
I wouldn't be well. I wouldn't say self-reliant. Is what I was gonna say. Go with here, but like I was gonna say, it might end up being a Drow. Just because they have TA, right?
The main problem with Drylo is like right now you have no stuns whatsoever.
10
So
seconds
if they
remaining.
pick something to get on top of the Drow, like say this is a support necro and they pick
5
some type of
seconds
like
remaining.
offlane or like a axe or something, just something to get to the Drow. Like how are you gonna stop them from
Reserve time.
calling or whatever?
Yeah. And now they
They
actually,
think it's a offlane necro, I'm assuming,
yeah, because they ban out the Disruptor. I mean, Disruptor's not bad, by the
which is
way. I
also
mean,
possible.
Disruptor actually would have been a pretty good pickup if that was going to be an offlane Necro, right?
Yeah, it's really good for controlling the bristleback
Yep.
and the TA.
10 seconds remaining.
I feel like their catch is all on Shadow Demon right now and Nasal Goo
And
later.
I'm not
seconds
too
remaining.
confident in that either.
Yeah, I don't feel like they have enough control for
Reserve
Lich ulti to
time.
do a whole lot right now.
Oh, my thing is, I don't imagine really there's any heroes that are going to be sticking together that much, right? Like maybe Necro and Jug. I mean,
Yeah.
Shadowfiend's pretty ranged, so he might even get like a Dragon Lance, Hurricane Pike, so he'll be pretty
And
far
and
away.
to make it even worse, right? Like all they have to pick, like they could safely in Bristol and pick up offlaner with a lot of lockdown, like an Earthshaker. But
Mhm.
I mean, then you're effectively having what I would consider like a carry. He's not a hard carry though. I don't think Bristleback could hard carry a game compared to like a Juggernaut
Yeah.
or a Shadow Fiend. And the main problem is a lot of carries don't have lockdown. Like I'd say Sven is good with for AoE
No,
lockdown,
they
but
decided to
they'll
go for the
pick
Terabyte, so
terribly.
they're going for the illusion thing.
Radiant team's turn to pick.
But it's kind of the same issue, right? Like they don't have any stuns whatsoever.
I also feel like Terrorblade is okay against Necro, but the thing is like you're gonna want to get a low health and Sunder, so he's just gonna ult you and then you can't Sunder.
Yeah.
And that is actually an offlane Necro. Maybe it's an offlane Ogre, but I feel like it's offlane Necro.
I'm pretty sure that's not if that's an offlane ogre. I think he just dies, right? I mean, I don't know what he
You never know.
does, right? I mean, he'll just get zoned
We've seen
out
some
by the range supports.
we've seen some weird drafts recently.
Yeah, but no, it's pungent, so it's definitely a support ogre there. So just kind of looking at the drafts, I'm just gonna imagine you're kind of with me here, favoring for Skia's draft a little bit more so than No Chills. Like No Chills, they have
Yeah.
to win early, I think, and even then, that's
The other thing is they have things to deal with the illusion push. They have Crystal Main's freeze and Q. They have Necro
10
heal.
seconds remaining.
They have Shadow Fiend 3 raises. Like
as well as they
not
have
to mention
the what's it, Blood Rage? I keep thinking of Bloodlust.
Bloodlust.
Yeah, you got Bloodlust. Get that extra attack speed. So actually, they have a lot of stuff that deals with the illusions.
Also, the fact that Ogre and Shadow Fiend will pretty much negate most of the Frost Armor buffs.
Yeah.
Because of the attack speed bonus. Lich is still good. Like I feel like Lich is still good. I just don't think Lich is good on a team with very little lockdown.
I can agree with you there. I almost kind of feel bad for for Bristleback actually. he is not going to have fun. Like, Lich is kind of one of those heroes that messes with Bristleback quite a bit. Because, I mean, you just Frost Blast, sacrifice, and, I mean, even though he is Bristleback, there's not much you can really do about it, just especially since he's melee.
Well, I'll just say this: No Chill's draft is really good if they snowball. Like they have a TA, they have a Bristleback, and they also have a Terrorblade.
Yeah.
Like any of those heroes get fast items. Like Bristleback's unkillable. TA is just gonna, one shot them.
Yeah.
And Terrorblade will just be unstoppable and also hurt them.
So actually, I have a bug right now where it's showing me the Magnus in the game. I just haven't selected a hero yet, so it just shows me like
Yeah,
Magnus. I don't know what happened.
Well, both teams are having problems, it seems.
Yeah, but so there's a noise.
Yep.
And it's coming from the headset. So I guess we will just be waiting until they solve their audio issues here.
So how do you feel about Boots start Necro off lane?
I think he kind of needs it. Like he can't go like a null task or anything like that.
Yeah, feels good.
Like I
Run away from
honestly,
the Shadow Demon.
I almost wouldn't be surprised if he picked up. Well, he can't even get Ghost Shroud, right? Because he'll just Ghost Shroud and then they'll just put him under.
Yeah, I'm not really one for off lane Necro.
Well, like I feel like Death Pulse isn't really gonna help him too much. Maybe a Pungent stays with him for maybe like the first like 3 levels or something like that. It'll be okay. But I don't think he can afford to solo the lane.
But I also feel like Ogre should help mid. Like it's a TA versus a Shadow Fiend.
Yeah.
She already has 67 damage. He only has 50. On top of the fact of like if he really wants to, he could go melee range and just refraction. Get that bonus damage to deny.
Well, looks like for Skia, he's just gonna strongman their way over to an easy bounty rune. But now No Chill kind of realizing, hey, that means that there's no one bottom, which is kind of weird. Normally you see 4 people, right? You don't ever see 5. So normally you see maybe 4 go for it, and then you leave 1 behind to grab the rune. But I guess they don't want 1 person to die, right?
Well, the other thing is, this is a long way for Jug to travel. Like, even though he's got 16 seconds left, he might run into them at the bounty rune.
I mean, he probably will for sure. And also, is there any spell you like? Is there any way you don't take Blade Fury level 1? Like, what else would you realistically take?
I actually have no idea.
Well, he got
We'll
it.
get there.
So, I mean, I guess that works, right? I'm trying to think, like, in what scenario do you not take Blade Fury level 1? Like, I don't think most people take crit, right? I mean, I think it's like that. Go ahead.
I don't think there's any time where you take Healing Word either. It's like 1 shot to kill it.
Yeah.
Blade Fury is pretty much always better. Like, you'll dodge more magic damage with Blade Fury than the Healing Word will heal early.
I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter because of, whatchamacallit, right? Because of Bristleback.
Well, that's the main thing. The Jug needs to play pretty well. If he spins too early, he won't be able to do damage to Bristleback.
Like, there goes the slow, but then the pause coming out for Dire Team. Apparently TA can't move. Okay, well, that's that. Now, I feel like Terrorblade does okay versus Necro, right? Like, I mean, here's the thing: Necro didn't take Growth Shroud or Death Pulse; they took Heartstoppers. I feel like you just harass the crap out of him, right? Like, I mean, yeah, he has Tangos, but I mean, he's not gonna be able to deal with your physical damage. Like, he's gonna have to tank all of it. He can't heal himself up, and he can't stop it.
And on top of that, Terrorblade also almost has 3 HP regen level 1.
Yeah.
Just
So
base.
Heartstopper not really doing that much.
I feel like this lane goes even. I feel like whoever missteps will be the one who dies first,
In top lane?
if at all. Yep. Shadow Demon obviously will help the Terrorblade out, but
Yeah.
I think if it's a 1v1 lane, like if the Shadow Demon decides to leave, it'll be whoever missteps.
Okay. So, what do you think's gonna happen in the bottom lane, though? I'm pretty sure Bristle makes it out. I mean, he hasn't put a skill point in, right? So I mean, he could probably
If
honestly put a point
they
in Bristle back if he really wants to.
if they do this correctly, I think he still dies. Like Bristleback level 1 is only 16% reduction, and he'll just get frozen soon.
Yeah.
I'm assuming Jug's gonna level Blade Fury. I don't know why. I think he was going for some right clicks, but honestly, it's not gonna do a ton if you if the Stout Shield blocks, which I'm pretty sure it did.
Right. And find out if TA can move first.
The battle
Okay, TA can
resumes.
move, so back to bottom lane. He did get frozen, and there goes the Blade Fury, though he's kind of doing it from behind, but he still dies, yeah. There's just too much damage.
So, and the worst thing is he just leveled Bristleback,
Yep.
and still died. And the main thing is, I feel like he should have just ran up anyway. Like, if you're gonna die, at least make it so they have to dive you.
Yeah, take some damage from the tower, right?
Yeah,
No
but
problems like you
now
said.
the main thing is he doesn't have quills, so now he's just gonna take damage from Ogre.
He's fighting Ogre too, like
Like he's fighting an Ogre with 8 armor,
and, the
and
thing
Ogre also got the Stout Shield. So
yeah, so he's just not gonna take any damage. Though Shadow Demon's actually doing, even though it's a 2v1 lane, he's actually pretty much leading still. You know, they both have 5 last hit, he has the 3 denies, which is kind of surprising. I mean, yeah, he's missing out on maybe like the experience just from the sacrifice, but I mean that's about it, right?
yeah, there's
Necro,
not much you can do about that though.
Necro actually doing okay now. He hit level 2, which I guess is kind of like his main thing, because now he can get last hits denies, heal up if he needs to. Bristleback managed to make it to level 2 as well, which may have been a small misplay by the Radiant. I think they could have harassed him a little bit more, keep him out of lane, especially with, you know, Ogre and having a Crystal Maiden.
Yep.
No, okay, well, maybe Tia can't move again, because I see them standing still underneath the tower. I wonder if maybe it's a mouse issue?
It might be.
Because, like, I mean, everyone else is moving just fine, right? So you can't really say, like, it's a network thing. But yeah. I mean, I wonder if they're using the same computer that Kareem was using, right? Because, I mean, Kareem was having an issue. Well, I'm just saying, because like, Kareem had an issue where his keyboard wasn't working. So, if it's that
What we heard.
USB input, or that USB port, then that would be why, right? Like, it may have some issues.
Yeah, but no, Necro's not gonna feel like pressured at all in this lane. I don't think at all.
Yeah.
Unless they rotate the Lich, he's just gonna do whatever he wants. Cause like, how does Terrorblade pressure Necro?
I mean,
He just can't.
well,
Like he has to try and hit him, and then he's gonna take damage from Death Pulse. He's gonna heal up all the damage. If he really feels like he's gonna die, he'll probably take a level of Ghost Shroud at some point.
well, maybe now, but I was gonna say, Death Pulse is only 60, right? 60 heal.
I mean, it's still good.
Yeah, I mean,
like-
it's still good, but I was gonna say, like, I mean, if Terrorblade had, like, meted, then it would have been fine, right? You just meta, you hit him a couple of times, and he can only heal really 1 hit, right?
But the main thing is like Necro won't feel completely pressured. You know, he knows he won't die as long as he keeps his health up. Like that's just like the main thing of.
Well, I mean,
The main thing of Death Pulse is passive, as well as being able to heal himself with it.
yeah, but I mean, like, let's say they harass him from level 1, right? Like, I don't think he does anything. I mean, the only thing he has really going for him is Tangos and Heartstopper.
Well, I just feel like Shadow Demon can't kill him. Like that's just the whole thing. He puts him under Terrorblade metas, and that's like he just drops and walks away.
Yeah. But I'm just saying they could have forced him out of lane, is what I mean. They could have kept him from hitting level 2.
Well, to force him out of lane, I think Shadow Demon had to start Shadow Poison. I don't think you can force him out with Disruption.
Maybe. Disrupt, and then Terrorblade walk under him with meta. And then hit him. He'd take about 5-6 right clicks, so it's about half his HP. But like I said, that would have been at level 1. Now it's not so much of a big deal.
He is taking quite a bit of damage from the tower, though.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Shadow Fiend gonna get the illusion room and send them after Lich. He's gonna clear the up though, you know, get extra health. Though Shadow Fiend gonna pop it and put him under.
TA cannot move again, I'm assuming.
No, they're good now. I think it's maybe like momentarily. I don't know why Shadow Demon did that. He put him under and then Soul Catchered, but you know
They didn't do any damage
he
to
didn't
him
do any.
after.
Literally did nothing actually. I think he had just killed up. Okay, I was like, I don't know if TA can move. Like I keep seeing like TA like do stuff and stand still. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Bristleback chasing this Crystal Maiden. He's actually gonna get the kill. Maybe one more quill will come out. Jug gonna chase him.
See, and that's my main thing.
He might actually get this kill if he dies on the. Yep, he got him.
Yep. See, that's the main thing with Bristleback against like Juggernaut is he's gonna spin you, you just run away.
Yep.
Like if he hits you, it does no damage, and he's just gonna do like a decent amount of damage to your back. So then he's gonna kill himself through the magic community.
I actually don't know how Necro died. Necro like, yeah, Necro was like here. I don't know why.
Might have went to try and kill Shadow Demon. Or maybe he thought they pulled to try and contest or something. Necro's also going phase boots instead of. I feel like this game needs to get like Arcane's mech and just turn them into Greaves at some point.
I guess the thing is he wants to get away from them.
Get it.
He's probably banking on the fact they have a bunch of slows.
Yeah, but at the same time, I feel like who's gonna build the mech on this in this game? And this game is good. Like it's a good mech game.
Yep.
You have Bristleback physical damage. You have TA's meld. You also have Bristleback's nasal goo. Any bit of armor and any bit of health you can get is like really good. Especially in a game with a Lich, just being able to outlive that ult.
Bristleback's actually about to get frozen bottom lane, by the way.
I'm fine with waiting and all, but let's go.
Ultimately, I'll say at the end of the day, I don't think it does anything. Now, I feel like this Crystal Maiden really wants to jungle, but hasn't really had a good chance to try to do it just because, you know, it is a Bristleback in the bottom lane. So he'll out-bully Jug now. Okay. Wait, Terrorblade kind of semi-dove the tower and took a bunch of damage, but it's going to be fine now. He's going to back you. I don't know if he saw the Ogre or if he just kind of assumed maybe something might have been fishy that this Nectar is chasing me. I also just realized Shadow Demon's name.
This'll come in handy.
But yeah, Regent sitting bottom. TA not gonna find it. She's not level 6 yet. Oh, well, it's only 4 minutes, so she would have been level 6 anyway. And no vision down there for them to really know what rune it is and where it's at.
Necro's gonna get put under.
He should be fine though. I mean, he has Ghost Shroud.
That's about half health. That was quite a bit of damage to the Necro.
Yeah.
Just from the Lich Frost Blast.
Now, I was gonna say, how do you feel about this Bristleback getting the cloak really early?
I feel like it's good because like right now their main like source of damage bottom is Frostbite into spin.
Yeah.
And so you're gonna like it's not amazing amounts of magic resist, but it's at least makes it better than 25%.
I was say, do you think he even bothered? Like, do you think he even dies down there now? Like, if it's just the two of them.
I mean, if he's low on health, of course, but I really don't think he'll die now. With boots in the cloak, I think he can just run down Crystal Maiden like he's doing right now. As you can see, CM has to TP out.
Yeah.
Regeneration.
Though I think she could have just TP to the tower. I don't think she needed to go all the way back to base.
Yeah, but I feel like it was probably one of those double tap TP. Just try and get it as fast as possible.
Oh. Mid lane, really actually in favor of the SF now. I mean, it's 35-10, 36-10. Meanwhile, the TA that got babysat only sitting at 24-3 now. A lot of heroes in the top lane. What's Ogre doing? He's going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I mean,
so the Ogre actually opted to level twice in Ignite. Like, he doesn't have any Bloodlust right now.
Yeah. I mean, realistically, the person can give it to is what, Jug? And I guess maybe SF.
Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, I was like, if he goes mid, right?
I still feel it's better than leveling your Ignite.
Okay. Well, I mean, it just depends what he's doing, right? Because, I mean, if he's going to be in top lane anyway, the burn damage isn't terrible, right? I mean, especially like something like that. I mean, I think they might have been able to get it with 1 point in it. Meanwhile, Necro kinda taking a lot of damage. Oh, he's going to put under, though.
Gonna get put under.
He has a Q when he comes out, 3 points into that. I don't know if he got a kill off of that. No, he didn't. I was gonna say otherwise he might have been able to survive. Didn't pop his stick, and Ogre is gonna live because of the armor, and they don't have anything to chase him with anymore. Honestly, I thought it was pretty brave of that Necro to try to TP out, just like sitting right in the middle of them, especially with Shadow Demon standing right next to him.
I mean, he Ghost Shrouded and tried TPing out. Like if Disruption was left cool or on cooldown, I feel like he just gets up there.
Yeah.
They have no stuns at all.
And that's the thing, right? Like once Disruption's used, you know you're basically home free. You just have to bait him into using it first.
Because that's a little the weird thing about TA, right? Is they picked TA into Necro, and like Necro just has to like, Ghost Shroud and TP out.
Yeah.
She can't do anything. Do you think she's gonna get a Defeasal Blade? Probably not. Terrorblade might pick up a Defeasal.
I've seen some weird stuff, dude. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see a Defeasal. But they are actually going to go on him. Oh, I thought maybe Necro might have been level 6. I was like, that would have been an extremely good kill. And they're just going to chase him. I mean, Ogre should have... Nope. I was like, Ogre might be able to hit him one time. But nice.
He's actually going to be saved, and then he got a Sal brought in.
Yep. And they're just back now. They did what they needed to do, make him spend a little bit of money from his own economy. I mean, he's only sitting on a Ring of Aquila and Brown Boots anyway. Bristleback stacking for something for him to take later, though it didn't stack. That's a little unfortunate. I think he has to pull it upwards. I don't think he can pull it down. Or he can like cut the tree and pull it through the back. Jug on the other hand, sitting at level 6, has his Ring of Health already. You think he's just doing that for the region, or you think he's turning that into a Battle Fury?
I think he's just doing it for the regen, because you can always turn it into Vanguard later for like an Abyssal.
Yeah. Okay, well, not really too much going on around the map now, just kind of people getting a little bit of farm. Necro actually, I don't want to say taking over the lane, but, you know, he's not as pressured anymore, right? Like, Ogre perfectly there to help him out. Ogre gonna get plundered though, but he's already hit the Shadow Demon once, twice. Necro
Shadow
still...
Demon should die here.
I think he's fine. Necro's still not level 6. Oh, terribly actually gonna turn to the Ogre, so Ogre actually might be the one to turn, or the one to die here in this turn, though he's actually still walking off.
That 8 armor pays off.
It did. I'm gonna say a lot of almost deaths here, but like no one, I guess, strong enough to commit. Bristleback actually looking like he was about to creep cut. Kind of interesting there. I guess since he has his own Ring of Health now, right, he's fine, and he's gonna make that into a hood.
I feel like he's just gonna make a Vanguard. I think that's just the casual cloak. Just sitting there.
Well, I mean, he has options. He has nothing in his quick buy, so it's not like we can say for sure what it's going to be. This Crystal Maiden, by the way, is getting phase boots.
Yeah, I mean...
At first I thought I misclicked on something, like I thought it was Jug or something like that, but nope, Crystal Maiden getting phase boots. I mean, I guess that's 60 damage, right?
Well, I feel it's more for her turtle move speed now.
Yeah, but I mean, kind of the same...
I feel like Tranquils is still better.
Yeah, I mean, you can heal up, right? It requires less trips back to base, I think is what the main thing is. Terrorblade actually jungling. I don't really know why. I don't know if maybe he feels too pressured now that the Necro's hit level 6. So, you know, he knows if he comes to lane, like he's kind of gonna take quite a bit of damage. Ogre actually gonna get Pond Under and Soul Catchered, and then Lich is gonna casually throw out the this Frost Blast. But it's good.
Well, once again, they have no stun to just stop. Like they use Disruption to catch, and then
by the way, the courier almost died for Radiant. By the way, it got away literally on 1 HP, or maybe it might have been like 3 or 4. Well, 3.
TA is actually going to go on top. He's just gonna go Shroud, walk.
Walk away, yeah, no stun.
He's gonna get put under, I think.
No.
Just came off cooldown.
Meanwhile, SF gonna take the tower and they hit Bristleback just a little bit. I mean, he's kind of starting to stack quills on himself. He's gonna get slowed, but ultimately nothing gonna come out of here. No nasal goo out on the Bristleback, so he can just walk away scot-free. Do you think now that No Chill's kind of regretting not getting at least 1 stun?
Yeah, I would definitely think so, because if I was playing this game, I would be regretting it as well.
And that was an early Necro pick, right?
Yeah, that was first phase.
So I mean, like you kind of, I feel like you build magic damage just because you know he's going to Ghost Shroud. I think a Lion actually is probably what they needed. Even though they're trying to do the illusion strat, I think you get a Lion, get a nice Hex and stun. and mana
Well,
drainer.
I feel like Lich would have been good if they had like AO or like some type of AOE stun, but if they don't, they just don't pick Lich. I don't see the impact that the Lich is having at all in this game.
Yeah. Also, I think Shadow Demon might have just not necessarily saved the Ogre, but Ogre I don't think took any damage from that. I think he's somehow got slowed. Like I didn't see him take any damage now. Meanwhile, TA gonna man up a little bit on Shadow Fiend, but then realize her fraction's gonna be down just due to the creeps. And you're right, as the Vanguard coming out on the Bristleback, so he can stay in lane, not have to do anything. Now Jug is actually going Battle Fury. I don't quite know if I approve of that.
I feel like ulti coming up from Juggernaut, and he's actually got in front of the Bristleback. Bristol will.
Ooh.
Oh. That right click was a mistake.
The freeze. There you go.
But
Chris
they
Man
will
did
still
help
kill Bristol.
Yeah. Like I don't know how I feel about this Battle Fury pickup. I mean, it kind of implies he's going to be doing a lot of farming, and I mean, they have an SF.
I feel like you don't want to. I feel like you don't want to go later against the Terrorblade and the TA.
Not if you can help it, and I mean, like the Battle Fury doesn't really do anything, right? Or it doesn't do much for their team.
Well,
I don't think their team's going to group up too much.
I think his. I think yeah, I was gonna say. I think his thought process may be something along the lines of like something to deal with the illusions.
But
at
Maelstrom's
the
just
same
as good,
time,
right? Maelstrom diffuses.
well, at the same time, you don't need to really like buy a Battle Fury.
Yep.
Like you have your team to deal with the illusions as well. I think what they need is more like single target damage, so then Necro's ulti can get off and they can just kill the Terrorblade before you can Sunder, of course. But
Now, meanwhile, Bristle now top. I guess he's a little intimidated by dying. He does have his pipe into his not stash, but his quick buy.
quick way.
Trap gonna come from TA, but they're not gonna do anything. Pungent actually only still to get level 6, so no multicast gonna come out here. He is taking just one blow actually. So.
Radiant structures are
Now,
fortified. Killing spree.
okay. I don't know how he got the kill without his ulti, but apparently he did. And I think it was solo too. I don't unless Krista made him TP'd out like last second. Which is entirely possible because she was missing a lot of HP. Dire actually taking this top tower really slow. Oh, Reap Cycler come out. Not gonna do anything though.
I really feel like they didn't need 4 people to take that tower. Like they just needed Shadow Demon to not be, well, he was bottom when he died. Like he needed to be top with them.
Well, my thing is like they took the tower incredibly slow though. Also, I don't know where the courier was just coming from Radiant. Like it was like over here, and Shadow Fiend was like down over here.
Well, but that's the main thing, right? Like if he uses meta, you just put him, you just use disruption on him, and then
Yeah,
you gain
let them take the tower.
120% damage, pretty much bonus. So
I don't know. Who knows?
I feel like they take it faster if they have TA, Terrorblade, and Shadow Demon, and then Bristle is somewhere else on the map creating pressure. Because they lost their offlane tower as well.
Yep.
And it was only Jug taking it, so I feel like it wasn't a good use of the map from No Chill.
Now I have a curious question. How do you feel about this Lich skill build, by the way? Just doing the 1 point in sacrifice, which means that like he's not really getting his mana back.
Well,
Frost
the
Blast.
thing with Sacrifice is like a lot of people haven't been leveling it since it got nerfed. Like
I mean, I think 2 points in it's fine, right?
patches.
Like,
ago.
right, like what he has
Well,
now, I think
yeah.
it's fine. You can sit on that for quite some time.
But like a lot of people have been maxing like ice armor because it's the idea of keeping your carry alive early, right?
Yeah.
In this game, I don't know if ice armor is like necessarily needed early because you do have a Terrorblade with like 22 armor at level 9.
Well, I think it's
what
more
he's
for
about.
like, I'll say the squishier heroes, but like, it's not bad on TA. I mean, she has 12.
It's just the effective HP thing that we were talking about earlier. It's like bad on Bristle, he only has 5, but I mean, I feel Ice Blast was probably needed, just because like Shadow Demon doesn't have any type of burst other than I guess Shadow Poison was later, but having extra and Frost Blast is probably good.
Yep. Now they did manage to pick off the Jug there, just as you were kind of like explaining that. Shadow Demon found him, put him under, soul captured him, and one of the whatchamacallit, it's him and one of the neutrals, and that he ulted him while he was spinning just to get the slowdown, which kited him pretty well. Dire actually surprisingly getting a lot, or not Dire, Radiant getting quick towers. Without the use of Shadow Fiend, actually. Shadow Fiend was mid lane. And even though Dire's gonna get the bottom tier 1, I don't think that was really even a good trade for them. Other than getting
Kratos
that kill
cracks in
beforehand.
Dire's top tower?
Also, Necro's going a Dagon. He has it. He has it purchased already.
You know, sad thing is I was looking at him, but I was like, it wasn't registering that that's the item he was getting. Like I was just like casually looking at him because I saw him with the headdress, right? I was like, oh, maybe he will get a mech, but no, it's just casual headdress for that, you know, extra region.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And the Shadow Fiend will get the Silver Edge.
Yeah, I saw
That's
him
what the
have it.
item
He
he's going for.
yeah, he had Shadowblade and Silver Edge both in his quick buy maybe like 5 minutes ago. That small bug that happens when you... I don't know why it does that. Like if I put an item in and then try to add a different item that uses the same components, it'll just act like I want to buy it twice. But maybe that's something they'll fix soon. Who knows?
Maybe. Chuck will finish his Battle Fury.
Now,
I'd say okay timing considering his lane didn't go insanely well.
yeah.
Went okay, but giving up a double kill to Bristleback early is not what he wanted, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Now I was gonna say, do you like that Terribly didn't finish his boots, by the way, or do you think he should have like gotten treads or something like that?
I feel like Treads is way too useful now with the whole fact of like 10 agility is nothing to like just ignore.
Yeah.
Especially on boots. Like also the attack speed for the illusions is really good.
Shadow Fiend showed off his Shadow Blade, by the way, with the DD rune as well, and Shadow Fiend kind of just went pop.
Dire's bottom tower needs some help.
Bristleback, I'll say Bristleback might be in trouble, but I think he's actually gonna get away. Now, the problem is Radiant just revealed themselves, and this kind of lines them up like right for TA right here. Echo gonna be kind of... Oh, he's good now.
He's gonna go Shroud, probably heal. Yeah.
Oh, here comes the Chain Frost. Gonna be bouncing mostly between creeps, it appears to be. So, yeah, literally all creeps, except for like the first hit.
Yeah, I feel like they went a little bit too deep there.
Yep. Now TA though, kind of getting caught out a little bit. I mean, they're good. Oh, Shadowfiend gonna just go inside to the ulti. She's actually gonna go down. Oh, no detection. No, missed the raise. We got the second one. Yeah, I don't know why TA decided to go for that. I mean, she has a blink and all, but like that's kind of a bit far. And Bristleback, I kind of feel the same way, right? Like, oh, actually, Bristle will be fine. He should get the kill on Shadowfiend right about now. He'll turn around. No one to really go on. Yeah, no one to really go on since they didn't have any wards there for the vision.
Yeah, I feel like both teams are playing way too aggressive for the point in the game. Like they were diving the tier 2 as if they're all 6 slotted.
Yeah.
And then TA was blinking forward without his team.
Oh, okay, I got a little worried. I was like, did Bristleback finish his pipe off a 1-team fight? But no, he bought the... No, he did. He finished it. Okay, it just wasn't showing in his stash for some reason. Oh, wait, what? Am I missing something? No, I'm good. I'm right. Yeah, he finished off that fight. It's actually pretty good for him. I think he got that from his hood. I think he finished that in all of maybe like 40 minutes or something like that. It's kind of allowed him to catch up a little bit from what happened earlier in the game. Stack being taken by the Jug, though, it's kind of like the worst combination of creeps possible, actually, for Ancients. The one to give them more HP, the one that gives them more armor, and then he also had the Prowler.
Yeah,
Like,
that's pretty bad.
Yeah, I was like, I think that is honestly the 3 worst combinations that you could have. Well, I'm actually curious. The giant granite golems, if you have 2 of them, they both work?
No, it doesn't stack.
Okay, they don't stack. Okay, well, that's not that bad then. I know the Black Dragon's armor does. I think it was like Crystal Maiden actually looking like she's going to get a drums for not for whatever reason, but you know, more attack speed, movement speed, stuff like that. I'm just kind of surprised not to see her try to go for a blink first, or Glimmer Cape even. Kind of the typical CM item you see them get. Lich actually gonna be the one that gets the mech on Dire team. I mean, I guess he kind of has to if they're gonna have one, right?
He's the only hero I think that would actually build it, because you know Shadow Demon is not gonna build that. He's gonna build like an Aether or Force Staff or Glimmer Cape.
Yep. Honestly,
TA's definitely not building a mech, neither is Terrorblade. Bristleback is definitely not building a mech. Not with his mana pool, and he didn't go arcane, so
yeah, like,
neither did Lich, but
I was like, he actually went
think-
back to go grab his treads. He just finished them, which I think is kind of interesting move. He's actually going Lotus Orb next.
I feel like Lotus is okay because of the Necro, but at the same time, I feel like it's not really like, what are you purging this game? What are you reflecting back other than Necrosight?
Yeah,
Like
Crystal
you,
Maiden.
Frostbite.
Yeah, I believe.
But the thing, Crystal Maiden doesn't really care. Like, oh, I got frostbited, but I just frostbite the Bristleback or whoever he puts the thing on. Like, you're
Beating
still
up Dire's top tower.
locking them down.
You have Ogre slow and a stun.
But
I mean, I
the
don't
main
think
problem
it's
with
that
Ogre's
good, right?
abilities is the main problem with Ogre's abilities is it doesn't. You can't multicast them back, right?
Yeah.
So it's just like really bad stun or okay slow. Like that's all it is.
Could you imagine how broken that would be if you could multicast them back though?
It'd make Rubik a lot better if you can multicast with whatever ability you stole.
So Radiant just gonna kind of peck at the tower a little bit. Frost armor gonna come out, so Jug not gonna really do much against that. Apparently Shadow Fiend died
Illusion.
on the back end, and not even the back end really. He just got kind of like caught out. Disruption and the ulti used. Bristleback gonna chase a little bit. I don't think he catches this Necro. I mean, ulti at the end of the day, he just goes Shrouds, and they do what? I mean, he can go Shroud
However,
now.
Necro doesn't have a TP though.
Yeah, but I mean, he's
but he
fine.
will.
I mean, he can.
You will make it out. He has 17 wand charges as well. I don't think they killed. I don't know why they focused the Necro.
I think it's just whatever was closest, right? Meanwhile, Punja gonna get gone on. They're actually kind of diving him under his tower. This main ult's gonna come out from the trees, but not really gonna help him at all. Really actually doing almost nothing. Jug's actually gonna ulti. Omni Slash gonna kill one. He's gonna spin, but not gonna be able to catch the the Lich actually wrapped right around him, kind of funnily. Now Jug is in no man's land, not where he wants to be. Gonna try to use that healing word, but ultimately gonna commit Chain Frost to that one. Okay, so really bad trade here for Skia. I mean, I'm not entirely sure why they would commit all that just for an ogre. But oh, okay, he's good now. That's kind of thing you said though, right? No stuns, like he has nothing. Oh, okay, he's actually gonna sunder the TA. I'll say like he really has nothing to fear. He can just go Shroud and run away as much as he wants.
Yeah, and I feel like that's the main problem with like their entire draft is just if they had stuns, the enemy team would have to play a lot safer.
Yep.
But the main thing is like CM can just get her ulti off if you use disruption. So like if she gets a Glimmer Cape,
There's just have
how are,
nothing, right?
what are you gonna do? Like honestly, what are you gonna do? You have to Lich ulti her if you have vision of her.
Yep.
You don't have any type of AoE stun.
Honestly, I just realized how semi-tanky the Radiant team is with Ogre. Oh, well, that Frost Blast gonna do just a little bit to Necro. And he's actually gonna go down because of that. Meanwhile, Bristleback gonna continue to dive after the Ogre. I mean, he doesn't really care about tower damage at this point, right? I mean, he's just gonna get the full spray. Good turn around. Should be okay. He's gonna get put under, so he should be fine. Meanwhile, Crystal Maiden kind of sitting here in the high ground, got a Frost Blast or Frost Nova, whatever it's called. Crystal Nova, that one.
But currently, bottom
Getting
Shadow
taken.
Fiend's pushing it in.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of all he can do, right? I mean, he doesn't really want to fight with his team, who's either dead or half dead. Terrorblading Bristleback to leave, though. So I guess it's the end of that push. They got the tier 1 and most of a tier 2. I mean, the Siege Creep's still hitting it.
Like overall, that was still a really good fight for Dire.
Yeah.
This'll come in
I
handy.
mean, I can't really complain about much.
Pushes and everything else.
Now, TA actually finishing her Deso, I feel like that's kind of one of the big turning points, I want to say, for their team fight. Now, a lot of these heroes are kind of making out either like just barely or they're kind of like Ogre, right? Like Ogre's like, I'll just kind of tank it, it'll be fine. I think with this Deso now, that'll kind of change their mindset. They'll have to try to kite maybe a little bit more. Or Necro may have to go Shroud a little bit earlier.
Well, the real thing with the Deso is, as I said, if CM bought like a Glimmer Cape instead of the drums, it would be a lot harder to stop her ulti, right? But if she just starts ulting, like TA can just blink onto her, meld strike her with refraction and kill her pretty much instantly.
Yeah.
The hero only has 3 armor.
I don't think the drums really gave CM as much as she thought it was going to. I mean, it's all right, but at the same time, like it's not gonna help you survive too much. I mean, you still only have 1,000 HP. She's only used. Has she used any of the charges in the drums actually? I forget how many.
Yeah,
comes on drums.
she's one. Okay. 6. You get 6.
Okay, Jug gonna spin his way out, but then he's actually ended up having to commit his ulti here. Kind of like semi getaway, maybe not. I don't know why Necro keeps ulting
Necro
the
ults
bristle back,
Bristle.
and then it's actually funny because Jug.
Bristle's gonna get out.
Yep. And everyone's just kind of dying for this now. I mean, I think it's just too much, right? Like it's a lot to kind of have to deal with. There's a lot of targets, a lot of illusions.
Shadow Fiend will kill too, but
He almost died, so he actually died himself to the illusions. That's actually a pretty good fight for No Chill. I mean, you only really lose your bristle back. I mean, Lich is kind of whatever. If he dies, he dies. But I mean, you still have
well, the
Terror
real
pushing
thing
that
is
tower
the only
now.
person who's left alive is Ogre. Like, how does he can't clear waves
Yeah.
of illusions.
Um,
You can make it harder for you to push up high ground, but they don't even care.
I'm actually kind of surprised he backed. I mean, I guess because he had like no mana, right?
Well, the main thing is like, I feel like they would respawn by the time he actually does anything, and they'll just chase him down and kill him.
I think he could have done at least maybe like a fourth the tower health though, before they respawn. I mean, they still have maybe like 10 seconds left.
Well, the real thing is TA is the dying
Getting
to
really close. What? Oh, okay, he melted. I was like, yeah, that got kind of dangerous there for a second.
Yeah, we were to see a Eternal Envy.
But I'm actually kind of surprised she didn't switch her bottle in for the magic wand as soon as she killed Roche and then pick up the rune and bottle it. But I guess she's going back to base anyway.
Yep.
Also, I like how a certain person whose name begins with a J is messaging me asking like what the hero picks are. But yeah, so things gonna cool down for a little bit. For Skia's lead kind of like going down now. Experience actually is now in favor of No Chill, but the net worth still 2.5k in favor of for Skia, so that's kind of good for them. It only really peaked out around like 7k anyway. But yeah, I mean, what item do you think they actually need to get here that'll really help them out? For Skia, I'm talking about.
They probably need a pipe. They need pipe on somebody on their team. Necro already has a headdress, so
Yeah.
like pipe would be really good.
So
Just against their minimal magic damage, because that's like their main problem right now is if you remove one of their damage sources, which is like really small, so like Lich's magic damage is all it is.
yeah,
Then effectively, if Necro uses Ghost Shroud, he won't die as fast, and then you can focus on like armor items for your other cores, like a butterfly on Jug or butterfly on Shadow Fiend or an AC on Shadow Fiend.
yeah.
And at that point, your team's not dying to or not taking nearly as much damage as they were before. Because I think right now it's survivability. Like they're dying really fast. It's not getting locked down, so because they only have technically 2 stuns on their team right now. Be Disruption and Lich ulti, which is a mini stun. So BKB is definitely not the item. Juggernaut's going for Diffusal Blade, which I
This is
I
so
feel
weird.
it's okay, but
it's okay, but I think it's weird, right? Like, I feel like you really just didn't need to go Battle Fury at that point. You just go Maelstrom.
well, let's see.
right?
Battle Fury has increased his farming speed because, like, as you can see, they're not winning fights right now. So I feel like if you went Maelstrom or Manta into Diffusal into Maelstrom, I feel like he'd still be losing. Like they'd be losing harder. Just because you lose one fight, you're not able to come back as fast because you're farming slower.
Yeah. Oh, did they spot out Jug? TA has this invis and she's Crystal Maiden. That'll have to do 1, 2, and 3. Poor little CM couldn't do anything. SF just good TP out. Back to home. It's kind of one of those curious TPs again, right? Like, why go back home? Like, I think he could have went into jungle, like to the shrine, and been fine. Even though he was full HP, full mana. I think he had a full bottle. He might have bought an extra TP or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. But like right now,
Yeah.
like he's silver edging,
Yeah.
right? Like I don't know why exactly he's gonna silver edge this.
I guess just for move speed if he's not intending to gank.
Yeah. Meanwhile, back in the top lane, terribly going Scotty now after he has his Manta and his Boots of Travel. He's actually not too far away from him. I think it's about 1,300. So after that, it's going to be a lot harder to kill him. Dagon not going to do quite as much. I'm trying to think of the unfortunate thing if Necro accidentally Dagon's the illusion. I mean, yeah, insta-kills it, but at the same time, like, you just Dagon an illusion. I
Yeah,
also
see, and that's another problem. Like, Necro is only a Dagon in his ulti at this point. Like, his heal is nice and everything, but I don't think it actually saves anybody.
honestly, I think he should have got a Veil.
I feel like he should have got some more useful items other than a Dagon. Because you see what it just did there to Bristle?
Absolutely
Nothing.
And I don't know why
They have a pipe, he has Bristle back. Like, they're just running at his team.
that Shadow Beam ulti actually did quite a bit, kind of salvaging that fight. But here's my thing, though, right?
Jug's actually in this fight, but he's not gonna be able to
do anything. I was gonna say, like, Necro kind of is just targeting Bristleback every single time. He's not actually doing anything, getting anything done. He's Dagoning him when his back's turned. He's ulting him just in general, even if his back's turned.
Well, I feel like there's some communication problems there. If Shadow Fiend hits the Bristleback, like, that's fine, because then you remove his Bristleback passive.
Yeah.
You should be able to kill him with a Reaper Sight and the Dagon, whatever damage you've done to him prior to that, right?
Yep.
But I feel like they're just not hitting Bristleback with the Silver Edge. Not they're either they're not, or they're just not doing it at the opportune time.
Yep. Age's actually got a timeout on the TA. So she put her bottle back into her inventory. She's actually going for Hurricane Pike next. Pretty good item. Allow her to get away. Good safety net, I guess you could call it. I'm a little iffy on this Ogre, by the way, going straight into Ags. I don't think his early game was necessarily successful enough to warrant doing that. As well as, I feel like maybe like a Force Staff or a Glimmer Cape might have been better first item.
I feel like Ag's Rush on an Ogre just never pays off. Like, all it gives you is another ability that uses half of your current mana.
Yeah.
Another stun. And the thing is, like, sure, you could say, like, it's extra damage, but the main thing is you're using half your mana cost. So it's only useful against, I would say rushing Ags would be really good against any heavy mana burn heroes, because then you always have a stun.
Yeah.
But the main thing is they have no mana burn so far, if I'm correct. I don't think there's a Fusel on A1.
Nope. Like I said, terribly was going Scotty. So.
It's I just feel like an Aether Lens or a Force Staff is a lot more useful compared to the Ags. Like, being able to hit that stun from a farther distance because you have an Aether, or saving your teammate because you have a Force Staff, is a lot better for than the 2 items worth of an Ags.
Yeah. By the way, Bristleback is going back for his Blade Mail now. He should have it with this creep wave, assuming he gets, I think, just 2 of the CS is fine. He's trying to make sure he doesn't lose it to the creeps in the wave.
See, but there's also the other problem of Bristleback's gonna start running out of item slots, because he's going back for items that are worth like 2.4k gold, or like 2.2k gold for Blade Mail. And sure, it's like a good item, but I mean, you're gonna get to a point where you buy an item like Blade Mail, you buy another item, and then you'll be 6 slotted, and then you'll just end up selling the Blade Mail like 10 minutes later.
I think he'll finish the Crimson Guard next, and then maybe go for Boots of Travel, and then he'll get another item. Or he'll just start switching out his TP, right?
I feel like Octarine Core is just like way too good on this hero to not buy, like, at this point.
Yeah. And I mean, he can do it, right? He could just, like I said, move his TP into his backpack.
Yeah, but the main problem is, like, after Octarine Core, then you're 6 slotted. Like, you could finish your Crimson Guard with, like, do you think you're gonna keep the Crimson?
Got away. He got the blink out. I was like, I don't know how I feel about them putting him under that quick. Especially since they could have just ultied him with Shadow Demon, right?
Well, they used the Lich ult to cancel the Ogre's TP.
Yeah. But I think Shadow Demon might have been a little bit of a misplay there by disrupting the Jug. I guess he didn't realize he had blink. And also he didn't Shadow Poison.
Yeah, to cancel the blink, yeah.
Yeah. But maybe he just thought he didn't have it.
Yep. Either way, they'll still be able to push down this tower. I don't think they can defend that.
Yeah, and they might even go tier. Well, can they go tier 3s?
They should be able to, like...
Well,
okay,
Meadows
well,
got- Meadows
Terrorblade
got
got TP back.
Yeah.
Just to defend, that's all.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Meanwhile, Shadow Fiend just got a... I didn't realize Shadow Fiend finished his butterfly. I thought he was gonna finish the Hurricane Pike first. I guess that's actually fine, right? 'Cause, I mean, he's gonna be taking a lot of right-click damage.
But then once again, like, I think the main problem is they need a pipe or something, because I would say BKB is a very useless item in this game.
Yeah.
Like, there's very little amounts of magic damage, but the magic damage there is really annoying. Like, Lich ulti. Like, you know, there's no point of BK being a Lich ulti because you just move away from the people. But pipe is good just because for the initial, oh, they threw Chain Frost at us, you just pop pipe and then you walk away.
Yeah.
Like, it's not worth the item slot or the 3.9k
Shadow Fiend
gold.
gets the wrong one. He tried to ulti on top of the Terrorblade, and like I said, he picked the wrong one. Just gonna get sundered, well, he's not gonna get sundered.
I feel like it's a really stupid play. Like, sure, you have the... Oh, they will get him.
Yeah.
But I don't know what he thought was going to happen there.
Well, here's the thing, right? If he had waited, because he ended up moving the illusion next to him, or he moved next to the illusion, right? But before it was a 50-50 play. And it's kind of not really looking like he was buying time for Jug. I mean, Jug didn't get much out of that. Like I said, it was kind of a 50-50 play. Either you land on top of the Terrorblade or you land on top of the illusion.
Well, I just feel like, what do you expect? If you get the Terrorblade there, you're not going to be able to kill him by the time, like, he's going to sunder you. He's just going to sunder you right after that.
Yeah.
Like, and then guess who dies? The Shadow Fiend dies even faster there. And then, once again, if you guess wrong, the Terrorblade can just run you down. Like, he has 32 armor. He does not care.
So.
Yeah, that too. He does not care. He will run at you. He has Sunder, and he's got full health. Your team tries to help you and get him low, you just kill the Sunder.
Now,
Jug actually snatched the Aegis.
yep, and TA gotta die. I was gonna say it was rather. Oh, well, his ulti actually ended up being good here. I mean, he has Aegis. I don't know why he spun so early. I think he should have waited, unless he thinks his team is leaving. Because I mean, now he's stuck in the pit, right?
He also stole the cheese, by the way.
That's actually pretty nice.
It would be a lot nicer if his entire team didn't die.
Yeah. Well,
but...
you know what happened? That was kind of unfortunate. Crystal Maiden doesn't have Glimmer Cape, and that ulti was actually pretty good, and then just got canceled by the Lich.
Yeah. See, and she's going for a Ghost Scepter. Like,
yeah.
I feel like you could just, you know,
Get the Glimmer.
kill two birds with one stone, just get the Glimmer Cape. Because at that point, you're forcing Lich to move into their entire team and he's dust, or place a sentry.
Yep. Right, meanwhile,
And, like, even if he does, like, he still has to get in vision for you.
Yeah.
So.
it's no chill. We're just gonna semi-backdoor this tower, you know. Now it's disabled. But before, not so much. Jug just kind of sitting around. I mean, Jug can't really do anything. Doesn't have his ultimate yet.
Playing really safe. I guess they don't want to just go uphill and lose.
I mean, it's fine, right?
Also,
go ahead.
Bristol is getting the Octarine now.
Okay. He has just decided not to carry a TP, which I guess is fine. I honestly thought he was gonna sell the Windlace and then just hold a TP. Just so he has a way of getting out if he ever needs to. I don't know if this Lotus Orb's really paid off. I don't think I've even seen it reflect anything yet.
Well, I'd say it was okay. Like, I don't know if it's the go-to item, but, like, Jug didn't want to ulti him the one time because he had Lotus on him, right? So it would just been both of them ulting, technically, I think, each other. I think it works that way, but...
I think Jug stops. Because Jug no longer has a...
Yeah, right? But that's what I mean, right? It's like, it's not gonna do anything. He's just gonna ulti and waste his ult.
I mean, at the same time, he could just go like a Ghost Scepter, right? I mean, it didn't really need to get one. I was saying, like, you know, you just go Ghost Scepter. It's a lot cheaper for the same purpose.
Well, the real thing is, I feel like Lotus is still good, right? Because if he got Lotus off there, that would have been a Necro ulti hitting the Necro. He also could have purged the Frostbite.
He also could have not Bristle back. He could have Blade Mailed and done it.
Yeah. I feel like I just feel like the Blade Mail hasn't paid off more than anything.
I don't think he's been
like, I've
using
seen,
it.
Once again, I haven't seen him use it once. But
so the fight kind of swinging back now. in favor of for Skia. I mean, they weren't really ever like losing, but like the past couple of fights come up a little iffy. The Q of Terrorblade actually doing quite a bit of damage to their high physical, right?
Yeah, even Necro has 144 base. So.
Yeah. So actually
Also,
quite
to make it better, Jug bought a Diffusal Blade, so whenever he hits Q, he's just gonna be burning his own mana.
Yep, as is the case now, right? It's not burning too much, but I mean it's enough to be kind of annoying, right? I also from using some skills later on.
The good news about that is just the fact that they have Arcane Aura.
As well just watch no one hit the healing ward until just now. The Chain Frost would have come out.
I think that Dagon was unexpected. Terrorblade.
Yeah, unfortunately, Chain Frost is going to a lot of creeps once again. Radiant just gonna back up. I mean, they don't really have to stay. They
did force the buyback.
Yep. Oh, Jug, what are you doing? Jug decided to blink back in, but I mean, yeah, he's got the Lich, or not Lich, but the Necker right there, the Dagon. So, I guess Brave plays being rewarded here. He actually chose the 20 agility over the 175 Blade Fury DPS.
I think it's better this game just because of the Terrorblade. It gives some armor. The DPS on Blade Fury isn't really gonna do a whole lot.
Yep.
I don't feel.
I mean, they don't have a problem clearing illusions or anything like that.
Especially because he has a Battle Fury.
Yep.
Also, they're not lacking magic damage at all. So like that's the other thing.
Okay, well now it's just gonna be a little bit of extra farming. Let's see what Terrorblade's going for next. Okay, Terrorblade going for his butterfly. He just picked up the Eagle Song, so he should probably have that in like a minute or two. Lich, not really having much. I mean, kind of the base essentials, mech and and Glimmer Cape. I don't know why he smoked himself though. I don't know if he's about to go ward or D-ward. Bristle about the same distance away. Did he die in that last fight, by the way, the Bristleback? Because I mean, I know
he got Necro Scythe, so he was dead for the entire fight.
Okay. Now, it does look like a second butterfly has come out for the Radiant team. This one being on Jug. I guess he saw like roughly how good it was on Shadowfiend when Shadowfiend was running away top.
See, and I really think that Terrorblade might have wanted to get like a MKB or something. Just because he's not going to be able to hit them.
Yeah.
And on top of that, MKB allows him to stun Jug through like a spin TP. If he gets the mini bash.
Not much good's happening to Radiant.
I mean, I guess they're just like, probably just gotta bank on, you know, Necro using his ulti, right? Even if it doesn't do the damage. I mean, Necro has Scythe, right? Or not Scythe, but, Scepter. So, I mean, it's only a 20-second cooldown.
Yeah, but Necro's on Jug's team.
Oh, my bad.
This'll come in handy.
My bad.
There's also, well, they just got BKB on TA.
Yeah.
Which is actually probably gonna help a lot. Because I think TA's main problem as well is like keeping refraction charges.
Yep.
So if you remove like Frostbite, Jug Spin, and also Ogre Ignite, you should be fine. Also, Ogre's had this Tome of Knowledge sitting in his backpack for quite a bit of time.
He's not very smart, you know, Ogre. Oh, he's just now. He's moving it now. I was like, 2 heads doesn't mean you're smarter, remember?
It may have been a different one I've seen earlier, but he did have one in his backpack. So.
Well, I mean, it's 45 minutes in, so... Okay, well, those are doing work over here. He's gonna get Silver Edged, and he should die... Nope. Oh, yeah. Okay.
You'll die to the Heartstopper.
Yeah. Well, I just now realized that, that Mr. Shadowfiend over here has the gem. Not quite entirely sure why he's the carrier of the gem.
See, I feel like Terrorblade shouldn't be TPing back here.
I feel
like he should just kept pushing it, meta up. Like if you lose a Rax here, like it's bad and everything, but I feel like if you trade their axe and your team doesn't all die like this,
I think that's GG now, because
yeah. See, and that's what I mean, right? Like if I'm sure if you actually were pushing their axe as Terrorblade,
You could just trade it.
they went back after the first racks.
Yeah.
They either back after the first racks and they lose their racks too, or they keep going and you just probably throw them actually.
So that's gonna be GG.
But now,
Dire's middle barracks
yeah,
have fallen.
and that's like the problem. He didn't have buyback.
So,
And on top of that, he got necrosite.
yep. So that was for Skia taking that first game. They won the early game, if I remember correctly, right? And then they kind of like had a little shaky middle game or mid game, and then just
Yeah,
ended up bringing it back, right?
I'd say mid won his lane, Shadow Fiend won. Bottom lane went. I would
So-so.
say in Dire's favor. Like your off laner got a double kill and he's getting farm in the off lane. That's
Yep.
good. And then Necro's lane, I'd say went about even.
Okay. But I just mean like in terms of like the big game in general, like that was kind of when
Well,
no
the
Chill
biggest
started
part
coming back.
is yeah.